Hey, what's up, everybody? Gonna do a classic rock reaction, man. This is a complimentary quad coming your way. A complimentary quad featuring the music of Bad Company. We're gonna start off with Rocksteady, followed by Moving On, followed by Seagull, and then finally Rock and Roll Fantasy. So, man, before I pop this off, I just want to give a shout out first and a thanks very much to Rob M. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate the Bad Company, man. Rob had provided a previous Bad Company. I believe it was a quad. So let's hit this up again, man. More Bad Company is all good. So, Rocksteady. Let's get it. One of the best rock and roll singers ever. Where does Paul fit on your list of great rock singers? I bet for most of you, especially you old cats, I bet he's in your top 5. Where does he fit? He's in my top 5. Brother's in my top 3. The hell am I talking about? Got a solid backing of musicians too. Right on. Excellent. Rocksteady, Bad Company. That's as classic rock as it's ever gonna get, man. Bad Company. One of the best rock and roll singers ever. One of the best rock and roll bands ever. Question. I've asked this before, and some people really took me to task for even asking. I'm going to ask though. This great rock band, Bad Company, why did they not reach the heights of a Led Zeppelin? Why? That's all I gotta ask you. They had all of what they needed, but I know that sometimes the industry could be a tripping hazard. I know that sometimes they might have vices. They might have a revolving door of musicians and players, or maybe the mix, the interpersonal dynamic and the chemistry between the members of the band could be a factor. Don't know what, don't know how or why. Don't take me to task for asking. If you know, just answer. Why did Bad Company not reach the heights of Led Zeppelin? Answer that, especially given the fact that they are just as talented, sound just as good, have just as much to offer and all of that sort of thing. You know, this is just coming from an ignorant person from the outside looking in. You know, if you know the answer to this, break it down for me. Now, that's not taking anything away from their greatness, man. You know, that is a very strong and sincere compliment that I believe that they should be at the same level of a Led Zeppelin where it comes to popularity and success. So, I know some people are still going to jump on me. Anyways, Rocksteady. Excuse my damn throat. I shouldn't have drank coffee before I started my reactions. Rocksteady appears on Bad Company. It's the debut studio album by English hard rock supergroup Bad Company. The album was recorded at Headley Grange with Ronnie Lane's Mobile Studio in November of '73, and it was the first album released on Led Zeppelin's Swan Song Records label. Reception and legacy of the album. The album reached the top of the US Billboard 200. Since then, the album has been certified 5 times platinum by the RIAA and became the 46th best-selling album of the 1970s. The album spent 25 weeks in the UK Albums Chart, entering at number 10 and reaching its highest position of number 3 in the second week. Kerrang! Magazine listed the album at number 40 among the 100 greatest heavy metal albums of all time. The album was also included in the book 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die. In 2000, it was voted number 323 in Colin Larkin's all-time top 1,000 albums. The singles Can't Get Enough and Moving On peaked at number 5 and number 19 on the Billboard Hot 100 respectively. Rocksteady, Bad Company, and Ready for Love, the last originally recorded by guitarist Mick Ralphs during his tenure with Mott the Hoople on their 1972 album All the Young Dudes, are also classic rock radio staples. Album versions. The album was remastered and re-released in '94. In 2006, an audiophile mastered 24K gold CD was released by Audio Fidelity. Okay. Alright, man. So, off of the same album is Moving On. Alright, man. Bad Company. Moving On. Let's get it.
Jump into a taxi and the time is getting
great bass player. Oh, they're all great. All of them. Great song. Great song. I remember this tune. Hey, question. Where does this song rank on your list of your favorite Bad Company songs? Let me know. It would give me kind of like put it in context for me. That'd be interesting. Great tune, man. Only knack against it would be it's too short. It could be 2 to 3 minutes longer, but other than that, great tune, man. All right, so moving on is a song written by Mick Rouse that was first released on Bad Company's debut album. Moving On was also released as the second single from the album as a follow-up to Can't Get Enough, and reached number 19 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 30 in Canada. Music and lyrics. All music critic Stephen Thomas Erlewine described Moving On as a blues boogie. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing myself, man. Billboard described it as a perfect driving song and praised Paul Rogers' vocal performance, Ralph's staccato guitar work, and the pounding rhythm section. Absolutely, these guys are stellar. Detroit Free Press critic Dana Sue Jackson described Moving On as a harder, lunging number with a good beat for dancing. St. Joseph News Press critic Terry Jordan described the melody as fascinating. Fascinating. All right. The Washington Courthouse Record Herald described the lyrics as fitting a roadie's lifestyle. Example, and I'm moving on, moving from town to town. I got to move on, never seem to touch the ground. Yep. Damn, the critics got a lot to say, boy. Reception. Classic rock history critic Janet Roberts rated Moving On as Bad Company's 7th greatest song. Roberts said that it was an FM Deep Tracks radio favorite in the 1970s and one of Bad Company's most soulful songs. The 100 Greatest Bands of All Time, a guide to the legends who rocked the world, described Moving On as one of Bad Company's most well-known and beloved hits. Cincinnati Enquirer reporter Jim Kippenberg as one of the best songs on Bad Company's for mass consumption. Okay, that's what he said. All right. There are no quotations. Rolling Stone magazine critic Bud Scopa said that Moving On contains nothing that hasn't been done 1,000 times before, but sounds irresistibly fresh. Yeah, that's what the great combination of excellent musicianship and great vocals will do, man, every time. The Gazette critic Bill Mann described Moving On as one of the strongest songs in Bad Company, along with Can't Get Enough, and particularly praised the strong yet economical drumming. Yeah, brother's got good timing. Moving On was later released on Bad Company's 1985 compilation album 10 from 6. Live versions have also been released on several of Bad Company's live albums, such as Live at Wembley. Alright, man. That's Moving On. So, let's move on to our third track, that being Seagull. One day I'm just going to have to buy the entire Bad Company library discography. All right, man. Bad Company, Seagull. Let's get it. There's Seagull by Bad Company, and there's Albatross by Fleetwood Mac. Both shithawks.
Seagull, you fly across the horizon into the misty morning sun. Nobody asks you where you are going. Nobody knows where you're from. Here is a man asking the question, is this really the end of the world? Seagull, you must have known for a long time the shape of things to come. Now you fly through the sky, never asking why, and you fly all around till somebody shoots you down. Na, 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 na. Seagull, you fly across the horizon into the misty morning sun. Nobody asks you where you are going. Nobody knows where you're from. Now you fly through the sky, never asking why, and you fly all around till somebody shoots you down. Seagull, you fly. Seagull, you fly away. And you fly away today. And you fly away tomorrow. And you fly away. Lead me to my sorrow. Seagull, go on and fly. Fly to your tomorrow. Lead me to my sorrow.
Very nice. Very nice song. It's funny, man. As this tune is playing, nice melody and everything, I'm actually visualizing the video that accompanied Albatross, the Fleetwood Mac hit. I did a reaction to that a while back, and there was some really, really nice video footage of albatrosses just riding the wind current and just really nice and graceful. I'm visualizing that as I'm listening to this tune. Great tune, man. Excellent. Okay, so yeah, Seagull also appears on their debut album, and I've already read their album album information with Rocksteady. So yeah, man, let's just bounce to our last track, that being Rock and Roll Fantasy. Me and my dumbass. I forgot all about this song. You know, obviously it's a great tune, obviously it's a hit, but when I was thinking Bad Company, I just never, I don't know, thought of Rock and Roll Fantasy. How could I forget about this great tune? Alright, Rock and Roll Fantasy. Let's get it. Fantastic. These guys embody the phrase, the coin, rock and roll. Great rock bands, great rock and roll bands, classic rock band. Bad Company fits all of that, man. Yeah, one of the best rock bands ever, man. I gotta get their discography. Absolutely. Such a pleasurable listening to these guys, man. Listening to Paul's vocals, it's just fantastic. Great force. Yeah, I can go on forever about these guys, man. Rock and Roll Fantasy. Where does that song, if you've got a greatest hits or greatest faves for Bad Company, where does Rock and Roll Fantasy fit on your list of your top whatever? Let me know. Me and my dumbass forgetting all about this song, man. Rock and Roll Fantasy. Rock and Roll Fantasy is a song by British hard rock supergroup Bad Company. The track was released as the first single from the group's fifth studio album, Desolation Angels. While not the band's highest charting single in America, it's their best selling, having been certified gold by RIAA. The song would peak at number 13 on the US Billboard Hot 179, ultimately climbing to number 54 for the Billboard year-end singles chart in that year. Written by vocalist Paul Rodgers, the song was inspired by a guitar synthesizer riff he had come up with. Legacy. Synthesizer. 2 years ago, I couldn't even pronounce that shit, man. I was having a hard time. You remember that shit? If you guys were with me from the beginning and you were with me trying to struggle through pronouncing that damn word, let me know. That'd be really cool if you guys were around that long. Legacy. In 2016, Classic Rock magazine ranked the song at number 9 on their list of Bad Company's 10 best songs. Okay. Album info. Desolation Angels was released on March 17th in 79. Paul Rodgers revealed on In the Studio with Redbeard, which devoted an episode to Desolation Angels, that the album's title came from the novel of the same name by Jack Kerouac, Kerouac. The title was almost used 10 years previous to name the second album from Rodgers' previous band, Free, which in the end was called simply Free. Desolation Angels was recorded at Rich Farm Studios in Surrey, England in late 78. It's considered the last strong album by Bad Company with the original lineup, mostly because it contains their last major hit, Rock and Roll Fantasy, written by Paul Rodgers and inspired by a guitar synthesizer riff that Rodgers had come up with. The album was remastered and re-released in '94. In 2020, Rhino put out a deluxe edition to honor the 40th anniversary with many alternate versions and bonus tracks. Okay, man. So that is Wikipedia Song Fact info on Rock and Roll Fantasy and this excellent quad. Rob, you're the shit, brother. More Bad Company. That's all I gotta say about that. These guys are just fantastic, man. And like I said, man, not only is Paul Rodgers in my top 5 ranking as for a great rock vocalist, but the band itself is in my top 5 faves, man. And I've only heard a handful of their songs, but I already know what I like. I just know myself and I know what I like. And these guys definitely are in my top 5 fave bands, man. Great band. I don't know shit about them though. I gotta get to know more about them, how they were formed, how they met, their sound they're going through. Just kind of go through it, maybe not with a fine-tooth comb like I am Led Zeppelin. I only have time to do that with one band, but get to know a little bit more of some of the more important trivia to know about them, you know. So I'll look out for that. So yeah, man, thanks very much, Rob. This was a great quad. Excellent. Always a good time to listen to Bad Company, man. So let me just scroll down here and check my notes out before I bounce here, man. Yeah, so got reactions in the shoot for John, Sasha, Jeffrey, John, Chris, and I also have a Led Zeppelin reaction that I'm going to be hitting up soon. I'm going to hit up the Earl's Court in the next day or two. I was hoping to actually do it this morning, but I got called into work early, so I got to bounce out of here, man. Mother of God, it's 6 in the damn morning. So I got Led Zeppelin's Earl's Court to do. Then after that, I'll do the Seattle show, 75 as well. And then after that, I'll do the O2. Or I might do the O2 before Seattle. We'll see how timing and life goes and all that. This is going to be a crazy ass week for me. And go from there. So that's the plan. That's my lineup for the next week or so, man. So I'll definitely be letting you guys know exactly when the O2 is dropping. Speaking of the O2, I'm not going to break it up in parts like I have been doing with the live stuff. I'm going to be definitely doing it all the way through. And it's going to be a really nice, chillaxing, lazy boy affair. Let me tell you, you guys are going to come into my living room with me, and you're going to sit down with me on my lazy boy, and we're going to be sucking back a lot of iced coffee with a splash of vanilla. And we're going to be checking out Led Zeppelin's O2 Arena. But then again, man, I am on holidays at that point, so I might actually just hit up some eggnog and some damn sugarcane rum. Maybe even light a flame. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, guys, that is my reaction to this great quad. And again, not enough bad company in my life, man. So y'all out there, make this shit happen. Send me more bad company. Anyways, guys, thanks very much for joining me, man. I hope you like this. And the next time you see me, I'll either be hitting up Led Zeppelin or I'll be hitting up John's. Oh, I don't know if John's got a quad or if he's got an album reaction. But all the same, you'll see me probably in the next day or so. More than likely, it's Led Zeppelin, though. Anyways, have a good one. Peace out.